Hello and welcome to Otterwood Cottage, where we're building a brand new small holding in the heart of the Lincolnshire countryside. I'm Emma and we're delighted to have you along with us. Alright, step one of Operation Awesome August is to tame this polytunnel. The weather is terrible today. It's raining. Well, the weather's wonderful for the veg plot, but it's terrible in terms of getting anything done outside. So I'm taking the opportunity to get myself in here. It's nice and warm. I can hear the rain on the polytunnel roof, which is quite a lovely thing to be hearing. And I'm going to bring you with me whilst I attempt to tame this polytunnel jungle. Now I'm going to do it step by step, bring you along the way and show you what I'm doing. And step number one is to, as best I can, clear the floor of any detritus. There's a few tomatoes that need picking up, a couple of weeds here and there. It's not very weedy in here, but we're going to, I've got my trusty multiple use planter slash collector of compost. So we're going to clear the floor before we tackle the next thing. Let's go. Alright, nice big bag of nutrients ready to go onto the compost bin. Floors are cleared and the next task is going to be to harvest everything that is harvestable from all of these plants, particularly on this side where the majority of the tomatoes are, but also the tomatoes on that side, chilies, and is there anything else, aubergines that are ready to come in. Once they're all cleared, that's going to give me a nice blank canvas, easy for you to say, to give these a good trim back, good prune to support where they need supporting. I'm going to give the bush tomatoes a go at trying to support them. They've got very heavy and are, as I showed you in yesterday's video, kind of just sprawling. But I'm going to try, I think, to give them a bit of a tidy up. We're only at the beginning of August. There's still plenty of tomatoes that can come from them, but if I just leave them, I'm worried they might get a bit diseased because they're very kind of compact and not a lot of airflow through them. So I think I'm gonna risk giving them a good prune and see what happens. I'm also going to harvest a good amount of the lemon basil and the Genovese basil on both sides to give them an opportunity to bush up. The plants I have been harvesting from are bushing really well, but there are some plants I haven't harvested from yet and they're looking a bit spindly, so I will give those a harvest. So that's the next step, bringing in the harvests. Let's go. I'm still seeing a few of these tomatoes have got splits, not all, but they must be the ones that were affected by that overwatering when I accidentally left the water on. But none of them are split badly enough that we can't use them. If necessary, we'll cut the split away, but in many cases it's absolutely fine to use as it is. And the other thing I'm doing is taking everything, even if it's not 100% ripe. If it's still green, it's definitely staying on the vine. But if it's, oh, that one fell. If it's close to being ripe or on its way to ripening, then I'm taking it to lighten the load on these plants as much as possible before I give them a prune back, because they become very difficult to maneuver if they're really heavy with fruit, which a lot of these bush tomatoes, these are the Auroras, and they've just been so prolific for us, which is fantastic because these are the sauce tomato, and it's the sauce that we mostly use tomatoes for. We eat them in salads as well, but the majority of tomatoes that come into the house are coming in, ouch, to make sauce. I think with this lot I'm going to try and make a tomato puree, so a really thick, not a pasta sauce, but a thick tomato puree like you'd buy in a tube. I've not tried that before, but I think that's going to be what I'm going to use these ones for. Alright, the aubergines on that plant aren't quite ready. Let's carry on down the line. So there you go, quite the haul of tomatoes in that enormous bag. A couple of aubergines, plenty of basil, so they are all ready to make some yummy sauce. And then the next job is probably the biggest job now, is to start trying to get everything tidied up, cut back, pruned. I mean, if we look up there, those tomatoes have hit the ceiling, and I need to make a decision with them really as to whether I keep stringing them up and over, or do what Charles Dowding does and drop them to the floor, or just nip them off and let them stop. But we are only at the beginning of August, so it feels like there's more to come. And then, so I'm going to do the vining tomatoes first, the indeterminates, and then I'm going to tackle the bush tomatoes, the determinates, which is the riskiest part because they may well snap. But I don't think I can leave them sprawling on the floor the way they are. So I'm going to do that row first of the tomatoes, and stake a couple of the aubergines at the back. Let's see how we get on. Okay, I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to be pretty brutal with this and take away anything that is below the first set of tomatoes, which are here. So I'm going to take away anything before that. Oh, there's actually a couple of tomatoes there, but only a very small couple. I'm going to take that one away as well. And then I'm going to follow it up to see. So that is a sucker that's got enormous. I'm going to be brave and get rid of anything like that. Because ultimately, even though that's got flowers on it and could give me fruit in the end, it won't help the plant in the long run. You're also a sucker. It's got very large. Let's get rid of you. And so are you. That's the leading end, which I've just broken off. That's made that decision for me then. This plant I have effectively finished now, so I'll get these tomatoes that need to ripen. There's still a fair few on it, but I've accidentally snapped the top. To be honest, these are the orange banana tomatoes, and they're nice enough in salads, we quite enjoy them, but we don't need tons of these. So I think, given I've got 4 plants of these, all with quite a lot of tomatoes still on them, maybe I will let them, maybe I'll let 2 of them continue. That one, which you probably can't see, the one in the corner, could continue up along the string I put in place for the loofah, which hasn't grown. This one has fallen down, so I might let this one continue. Perhaps string it up along the roof. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm gonna let that one continue, but it needs a good prune. There's loads of suckers on that. Let this one continue, and then that one that's fallen and I think is probably broken anyway, I'm gonna snip back. So 2 to continue to grow, 2 to finish off and just let ripen what's on the vine. That's my plan. Day 2 of Tame the Polytunnel jungle. I'd hoped to finish it yesterday, but as always with these things, it always takes longer than you think. I had about 4.5 hours in here yesterday and just about managed most of one side. I need to finish that side, do the middle and do the other side. I had started on the hardest side, so I'm hoping it won't take me another 3 days to finish. I may have to be a bit slower today because yesterday was lovely and cool and overcast and raining. Today is much warmer, so it will get hot in there fast. The bush tomatoes in particular are particularly tricky, and I've ended up with quite a lot coming off the vine as I've been trying to tie them up, which are going to have to be ripened off the vine. But these things happened, not the end of the world. I'll show you where I've got to quickly and then we'll carry on. Let's go. So here we go. Oh, you got stick ots. So these are all the tomatoes that came off the vine, which isn't ideal, but not the end of the world. And then these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bush tomatoes that I have tied up with another 1, 2, 3 to finish, and then this side is finished. So hopefully won't take too long. These are particularly tricky. Are you eating? What are you eating? Ots is being a big brave boy today and coming out into the veg plot. First side done. I've lost a few tomatoes to this little monkey who keeps stealing them. He's a little time robber. He's so cute, he gets away with it. Right, let me show you this side and how far we've done. Bring you out. There we go, all tidy, all tied up. Tried to hide the tomatoes from the pot under here. I'll put those away in a moment. We've got some more ripening, but definitely an improvement. So next, what have you got now? Oh, a pepper. He's getting his 5 a day. So next is the middle. So a little bit of tidying up on peppers and particularly the melons. I'm gonna take back any growth on those that aren't needed. For example, that melon has grown beautifully all the way up there, but there's no fruit on any of that vine, so I'll take that vine down. So a little bit of tidying up down the middle here, not a huge amount to do. That tomato to prune right back, and then I've got this mystery squash which I was thinking about taking out because I couldn't see any flowers on it, and then I just found that it has got flowers, so it may well fruit, so I think I will give it a reprieve. The calendula needs cutting right back, tidying up, deadheading, but not too long I don't think, down this middle. Famous last words. No more tomato stealing, you. Otter. You gonna sit? Otter, sit. Good boy. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Well done. All done. Didn't take as long second time. 11:15. A couple of hours to finish up. I'm very glad because it is getting super hot. I'll spin you around, show you the finished article, and that is a huge mental load off and it's looking really good. So the lesser known Australian shepherd plant, and then this is all tidied up and held up on that side. Finally got the loofah strung up, and then I found so many melons in the middle, more than I thought we had, which is exciting. Mystery squashes I've left in place. They're just gonna crawl along the floor. Hello, mate. You can see the peppers now and the chilies. All of the melons are nice and tidy. And then back to the first side, which you saw before. And that is the pile of detritus we took out. So really quite a lot. So all that's going to go to the compost. Other than that, that is a job well done. Thanks for coming along with me. I'll catch you soon.